Everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us for this webinar. Today we'll be going through the career service and employability in DCU. And today I'm joined by Frank Farrell and Benita Murphy from the career service who will be taking this webinar today. But just before I hand it off to Benita, I just wanted to go over a few, I guess, like housekeeping rules, like really quickly. So again, it's a webinar. So if you have any questions at any point, like during the session, please drop your questions in the Q&A. Frank and I will be going through, and at the end, we could read out some of them to Benita. One thing that I would like to urge you guys is to keep your questions as general as possible. We will not be able to respond to very specific queries. If you have more specific queries not relating to the career service, you can send an email to us. We will drop an email in the chat for you at some point, so you can send any of those specific queries. With that, I will pass it off to Benita now.
Perfect. Thank you, Frank. So just bear with me. I'll share my screen. Hopefully you can all see that okay there, guys. All good, yeah?
Yeah, we can see that.
Yep. Brilliant. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Lovely to virtually meet you all. As Perry said, my name is Vanita, and I'm one of the careers consultants here in DCU Careers Service. So today I'm going to take you through a little bit about the career service and what sort of services we offer to you as a student in DCU and what things are available to you whilst you're here. So basically, what do we do? So the career service, we support you in developing your potential and empowering you to be successful in your future career. So lots of things you can engage with during the year with us to help you in terms of searching for your future graduate job. And we have our own website, and you can see the link there. So you can have a look at that to get you started before you come onto campus. So how do we support students? What sort of facilities are available to you guys from the career service? And this is open to all students from DCU. So we have dedicated careers consultants who work across all of the different schools and faculties, and we can offer you one-to-one tailored advice and guidance. That could be maybe around areas if you're not really sure what you want to do after your either your undergraduate degree or your postgraduate taught masters. We can meet with you and discuss maybe what options are open to you and give you an idea of where previous graduates have went. We can help you in terms of the recruitment process if you are applying for jobs, and we can help you with developing your CV and your cover letter and making sure you tailor them to the different job descriptions. And we can also help you with your LinkedIn profile and making sure that it is up to the right standard if you are searching for opportunities. And then when you get maybe through to interview stage, we can help you with preparing for interviews, and we can help you with maybe taking you through a mock interview, and we also will take you through some common interview questions that you might get asked. And then we can also support you in terms of psychometric tests and careers assessments. There's online platforms where you can go on and practice for psychometric tests, which is all free for DCU students. What other things do we offer? So we have a lot of workshops and events that take place throughout the academic year. And I've just given you some examples here. So we have workshops on CV writing, and specifically for you guys, I know some of you may have no experience at all in industry, and that's absolutely fine. Some of you may have sort of 2-3+ years of experience in industry, and we're aware you might be applying for jobs at a sort of different level in graduate type roles. So we will do CV sessions for students with 0 to 3 years of experience, and then for students with 3+ years of experience. We'll take you through maybe interview skills as well. Like I said, we can meet with you in a one-to-one, but we'll also do sessions on interview skills. And generally, we maybe bring employers in to facilitate some of those skill sessions to talk about what they would like to see with students coming through for interviews. We'll take you through a little bit about networking on LinkedIn. We generally get LinkedIn themselves to come in and do a session about developing a profile. So that can be a really popular session and lots of good tips that they give students for developing a LinkedIn. We might take you through job search strategies. We also run alumni panels. And for example, last year we had 4 international graduates who are working here in Ireland come in and sit on a panel, and then the current international students were able to ask some questions about their career path. into their current jobs. So we'll run those sort of throughout the year. And then during semester 2, generally, we run like an international student program of events. And as part of that, we'll get an immigration firm in to talk to you about your visas. Like I said, we'll also get alumni in, and we'll get some organisations like employers, recruitment agencies in to speak to you about searching for jobs in Ireland. So that just gives you a bit of a sense of some of the workshops. And then in terms of online, we've lots of really good facilities there too. We have our jobs board. So anytime employers come through to us to offer roles to DCU students, we refer them to our jobs board and they advertise their opportunities on there. And all DCU students will have access to this jobs board and you can search for opportunities across a range of industries. We also have 2 AI platforms, one where you can get your CV reviewed and you get AI feedback, and the other where you can practice undertaking sort of a short interview, a mock interview via video platform, and you'll get AI feedback on that. So again, they're both really, really beneficial to help you see where you're at with your CV and where you're at with maybe your interviews. And then we have online resources on our Loop page, which is our university-wide resource that all students will have access to. And there'll be guides there around maybe CVs and developing your cover letter and practicing for interviews. And there's tips each and lots of really good resources and a particular section specifically for international students as well. So these are all things that you'll be able to access as soon as you are registered as a student here and you get your student number. And then in terms, I did mention earlier there about employers, we'll get some employers to come onto campus. So in terms of our engagement, just to give you an idea of what sorts of things happens with employers. So employers might come onto campus and do presentations where they'll talk a little bit about the recruitment processes and maybe potential jobs that they're offering as well. We might have some employers come in and, like I said earlier, do sessions around maybe developing a CV or around interviews, just to get it from their perspective. And then we have careers fairs throughout the year. And the 2 big careers fairs that I wanted all you guys to make a note of, because it's not too long after you start your semester here in DCU, we have our business, accounting, finance and law fair on Monday the 6th of October. And then our science, technology and engineering fair on Tuesday the 7th of October. And what happens at the fair? Basically, we have generally around 60 companies each day related to that particular industry come in and they set up a sort of career stand, and for 2 to 3 hours you can go and meet with these employers at the fair, and you pop around all of the different stands and you decide which employers you'd like to speak to. And prior to those fairs, the career service will do different sort of presentations and workshops to help you prepare for going to those fairs and what things you need to be aware of. And just to make you aware, in Ireland, so we'll have employers come into campus, but they won't be recruiting for jobs there and then. You'll have to go through a recruitment process. They'll be highlighting what jobs they have available, but the onus will be on you guys to go and apply. So generally, you'll apply with your CV and then you'll go through a recruitment process, be that it could be CV, then it could be a psychometric test, then it could be an interview. Some companies, it could be a CV and straight through to interview if they want to take you through to the next stage. So you won't get a job offer there and there. The whole point of these presentations and skills events and fairs is for you to go and network with the employers to find out a little bit more about what opportunities they're advertising, any tips for applying to their organisation. And at the careers fair, generally they have some graduates on their career stands, and you can chat to the graduates about their experiences of working in those companies as well. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the employer engagement. And then the types of employers, just to make you aware, so we'll have the larger organisations, and they generally have like graduate programs or graduate training schemes available. And some of them might have just-in-time recruitment. And what that means is they might advertise a role depending on their availability. They may have a new project coming up in their organisation, so they need more staff. So they advertise now for people to start ASAP. Whereas with the graduate programs, they're a bit longer of a lead-in. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about those in the next slide. So then the bigger organisations, the multinationals, which a lot of you are probably familiar with anyway from your home countries. And then in Ireland, SMEs are quite popular as well. So a lot of small to medium enterprises. So these are organisations where they have less than 250 staff working for them. So keep your ear to the ground and keep an eye on those. Some of these organisations may come to our fairs and our employer events as well. And then startups is a big culture for starting up your own company here in Ireland too, and it may be of interest to some of you guys whilst you are here in DC, or even as you finish and as you graduate. And there's supports available for you too if that's something you are thinking about. Okay, and I just wanted to highlight the little sort of quote I put in there. To secure employment in today's labour market, graduates need to demonstrate a broad range of skills as well as academic qualifications. And I'm going to hone in on that a little bit more in a few more slides about highlighting the importance of your skills that you have. Before I do that, though, I just wanted to mention to you about what graduate programs are and to give you an idea of what we mean by that. So a lot of the larger multinational organizations run graduate programs, and basically these graduate programs are open to a multiple number of graduates each year. And what happens with this graduate program is that to allow the company to bring in these graduates and for you to become as productive as quickly as possible, the companies put you through like a structured learning and development program during your years there as a graduate, okay? And hence they use the phrase graduate program. Generally, these graduate programs are maybe 1 to 2 years in duration, and you'll have a structured sort of program whilst you're there on the graduate program. And they're usually, like we say, the larger multinational organizations who run these graduate programs. And they're usually in sectors such as finance, manufacturing, science, engineering, IT, technology, and retail. So you'll tend to find a lot of the companies coming to those careers fairs I mentioned earlier on in October will be advertising for the graduate programs. But what happens is they'll be advertising in October time for their graduate programs, but those graduate programs, you won't start that job until the following September. Okay, because you will be doing your course here in DC, your postgraduate course. So you really can't start that until the following September. And that's the whole idea. They sort of recruit for the graduate programs a year in advance. Okay, so hopefully that makes it a little bit clearer for you of what a graduate program is, because you will see that sort of start to be mentioned when you come here and you are searching for opportunities for graduate roles. So what are employers looking for? Like I said to you a couple of slides back, your skills are really, really important. Yes, you want to show your degree and your postgraduate study, but what are you doing or have you done outside of your degree to show that you've developed these different skills? Okay. And what I've done here, I've taken a couple of quotes from this online guide. I'm going to share this with you guys at the end, this link for international students, and a lot of the employers are saying they want you to come to them who have acquired a diverse set of skills over time. You have transferable skills or competencies, and what we mean by transferable skills is skills you've developed in maybe your degree or maybe in your part-time jobs or extracurricular activities that could be transferred into any job. So they're like your soft skills, like communication and teamwork and problem solving. If you've developed them in other sort of areas, you can transfer them into going into a graduate job or professional sort of level job. Okay. And companies and employers will want to find out about your transferable skills during the interview and recruitment process. So what I've done here is highlighted some of the key employability skills employers are looking for at the minute. And what I've taken this from our colleagues in the University of Limerick recently ran a survey with employers, graduate employers, just to see what they would like to see from students and graduates. And this is a link to the survey here. And as I say, we'll share this all with you at the end. And from that, I've just taken the top 10 skills from that report that employers are looking for. Okay, so you need to be aware of these when you're applying for jobs. And what you'll tend to find is when you are applying for jobs here in Ireland, a lot of the job descriptions will highlight these skills and they'll want students to come with these skills. So you've got your communication, your self-motivation, your teamwork, because no matter what job you go into, you'll have to work in teams, being able to problem solve even as a graduate. Attention to detail is really important, especially if you may be dealing with clients and so on. Your time management, so it's good to highlight how you manage your time whilst you're at university. Your adaptability, which a lot of you will be able to show, especially if you're moving here to Ireland to study for a course here, you've already adapted to that. Your interpersonal skills and how you get on with other people, making decisions, and then your resilience too. Okay, so I'm not going to go through them individually, but that just gives you a sense of those key skills that employers look for when you are applying for jobs. And as I say, you probably will see a lot of these on job descriptions as well. It's good to have these in your head when you are speaking to employers as well and highlighting how you have some of these skills, and especially when you're going for interview also. So how do you develop these employability skills? And students ask me this all the time. So I've given you some ideas here as to things you Could do. And a lot of you maybe have already developed some of these employability skills, especially if you have previous work experience, be that in an industry relevant to your degree, or be that in even part-time jobs, or if you've undertaken extracurricular activities. Like I said earlier, you're developing really good employability and transferable skills. So how can you develop them further whilst you're here in DCU? So you can attend our workshops and skill sessions that we run in the Career Service. You can go to the Careers Fair and attend our employer events. As I said, we have the program of events for international students in semester 2, and you can attend some of those. We have a website here, which some of you may be familiar with. It's a global website called Meetups, where you can go and meet up with other individuals in relation to areas of interest to you. So say, for example, you're into gaming, you could go and check out meetups within gaming and go and develop your employability skills and develop your teamwork and your communication by going to these meetups and meeting with people who have those like interests as you. You can attend Eventbrite events. There are events happening all the time just to network with people and find out a little bit more. You could consider internships if you haven't already done that before through maybe your undergraduate degree. Part-time jobs is an option for you as well. Volunteering too, because again, you're developing those really good soft skills like these ones by doing any of these activities, which can be great to highlight on your CV then when you're applying for jobs. And that last one, joining DCU clubs and societies, I really encourage you all to consider doing that. Again, it looks great on your CV. Get involved in the club societies, especially if there's an area you're interested in. And employers like to see that. And I'll show you that in a moment, a video of employers highlighting how important your extracurricular activities are. But for you guys, especially if you are coming from another sort of country, it's really good to meet with people from Ireland as well and sort of find out a little bit more about the culture here by joining the clubs and societies. So yeah, here is the video. Now just bear with me. I'm going to stop sharing. I have it open already on a YouTube link here, so just bear with me and we'll have a look at this. It's just a very short video with employers highlighting it from their perspective of engaging in extracurricular activities. Now I'll just make sure you can hear that. Can you hear that okay there, Frank and Perry?
There's no sound coming through for
No
me.
sound.
Let me just see. Bear with me. Sorry. Trying to remember. I think it's up here we do. Can't hear that at all, no?
No.
No, still no
No.
sound.
Just bear with me.
It might just be on the audio setting on the bottom of your Zoom. I know videos can cause a lot of problems, I know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't no. What I could do, I can share it anyway I can share the link in the slides and
Yeah,
you guys
or
can have a
even if
look
you
at
want to
so
throw the link into the chat at the bottom as well, people will be able to
yeah.
access it there.
It's literally a 1 minute sorry, bear with me, I'll share my slide. It's a 1 minute 40 video just highlighting from the employer's perspective how important extracurricular activities are. So I'll just pop it into so if you want to have a look at in your as I said, it's short, but it reinforces, guys, how the importance of doing stuff outside of yes, your degree and your master's really important, and that's your priority. But thinking about what are other things you can do to develop those employability skills that those employers are looking for. So have a look at that, and it's some of the global Irish employers based here. So if we just move on then to the next slide. And I know I mentioned this earlier, and I'm conscious some of you maybe do have experience already in industry, especially in industries related to your sort of masters that you're going to go into. So I have a few slides here for what things you could be aware of. It's still important for you guys who are thinking about graduate jobs to have this in your head too. So you would be instead of applying for the graduate jobs because like there's a year lead in for those and they're for graduates who maybe have little to no experience at all, you guys would be thinking about roles more at an experience level, especially if you have 2, 3+ years of experience. And if you're sitting here today and you're not really sure what stage you're at, you can always come to the career service when you start in DCU and meet with us, and we can help you sort of decide what roles are best for you. But I just wanted to focus in on this because I know some of you are coming in maybe with previous experience. So you could have a look at some of the key sort of jobs websites here in Ireland. There's Irish Jobs, jobs.ie, and LinkedIn Jobs is really good for experienced professionals, but also for graduates as well, for students looking for graduate jobs. So it's a really good one for everybody. And then there's also Indeed. And for you guys for looking for experience roles, you wouldn't be applying for those until towards the end of your course, sort of next summer. Because the thing with those jobs is companies will want you to start as soon as possible. Whereas if you're applying for graduate jobs, you are starting that process sort of in October, November time this year. Okay. So what I'd be saying to you is, you'll not be applying till later on in the year, but you can research the roles that are available. Have a look at what's out there through looking at these websites. Have a look at the job description. What are the requirements? Are they looking for particular years of experience? What skills are they looking for? Are they looking for technical skills and what soft skills? And do you meet those requirements? Okay. And the key thing for you guys, if you have experience, it's really important to showcase that experience and the skills you develop from that experience on your CV and on your LinkedIn profile. And for you guys as well, everybody, networking is going to be really, really important. And that's why we have employers on campus. So it gives you the opportunity to go and network with the employers and find out a little bit more. So I'm going to take you through a little bit just to highlight how you can develop your network whilst you are a student here at DCU. So sometimes there may be jobs who may not come on to the open market, and it's about you tapping into the hidden job market. Not all jobs may be advertised. Okay. So how do you tap into this hidden job market? It's by developing your network. Okay. And by doing that, you can do that through going to employer events or by using LinkedIn and maybe networking with alumni, for example. And you're building up your network. So you're not asking for a job, but you're finding out a little bit more about the industry these people are working in, what tips they have for breaking into the industry, and if they can give you any hints and insights into that organization as well. So it's to help you. Networking, as I say there in the last sort of point, is a powerful tool that can aid you in researching your careers, areas of interest and job descriptions, and it also helps you to develop contacts because you never know how this network might be really important to you down the line. And Ireland is such a small place, and you tend to find people who've worked in one organisation in a particular industry may have moved to another organisation within that industry. So it's good to build up your network when you are here in Ireland by coming to the employer events, by using LinkedIn, by potentially attending Eventbrite events, going to those meetups like I mentioned earlier. All of those activities can help you develop your network and meet people who are interested in the same career areas as you. Okay, so here we are, some areas where you can network, and it's similar to maybe those ones earlier that were mentioned about developing your skills. We've got your events and conferences, your fairs, your meetups, even your part-time jobs and volunteering can be really good to meet individuals or to meet customers as well who are potentially working in industries who are of interest to you. Like I said, joining your club, societies, getting involved in class stuff for your university, engaging in your hobbies and interests and continuing them here whilst you are in DCU, and then social media. LinkedIn especially can be a great tool to network on, and you can especially network with alumni on LinkedIn. And again, that's features that we can show you when you come to like our skills sessions or you book an appointment with us. We can show you how you can use LinkedIn to the best of your ability. So in terms of next steps, as I say, it was just a quick sort of overview of the career service. And I definitely encourage you all to come and meet with us whilst you start here in DCU. The key things from today is think about your transferable skills and how you can develop them whilst you're here in DCU, because you have so many services available to you whilst you're a student here, so make the most of them. Start networking, or if you have already started that, continue to do that whilst you are a student here. Develop your CV and LinkedIn profile. And I'd say there's lots of tips for you guys that we can provide in terms of doing that. Utilize the resources that we have available to you. You'll have all access to them once you're a registered student here. And then those other couple of links that I mentioned earlier. So this is a really good, it's an online guide for international students developed by Irish universities. So it's all of the Irish universities developed this guide. So there's really good tips in there. And then the Irish Council for International Students, it's an organisation who work with international students and the universities on specific areas. There's a whole about section and you can contact them and ask them questions as well. So they're quite a good resource for international students as well. And they're free to use their resource as well because they work closely with a lot of the universities here in Ireland. So as I say, that's just a quick overview. But has anybody got any questions that they'd like to ask in terms of the career service? I'm just going to stop sharing. Let's just have a look.
Thank you so much, Vanita. Yeah, there's a few questions coming in.
Okay,
So
brilliant.
me and Priya have typed the answer to some short ones. So maybe if you've asked a question, just check to see if we haven't given to see if we've given a typed answer there quickly. Or Priya, I think Priya has a couple of more slides just before we head on to the questions as well.
Apologies. Yes, apologies. I'll hand over to you, Priya, and then we'll take questions. Thanks.
That's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vanita, for that presentation. Very, very informative. Just before we take the questions, I just want to highlight some of the upcoming webinars. We are down to the last two now. So we will be having the post-study visa options on the 13th of August. That webinar would go a bit more into detail about the third level graduate scheme and how to apply, and then, sort of like looking a bit beyond that scheme as well. So if you want to learn more or understand that a bit better, I would suggest like registering for that webinar. And then the final one would be the course registration reminders and frequently asked questions. So again, if you have questions relating to registration, please attend that event. Someone from the registry team would be with us to, walk you through the registration process and then take any questions that you have as well. So that will be happening on the 20th of August, okay? And then just a quick reminder about the Going app as well. This is a very good chance to, connect with existing offer holders. Again, as Benita highlighted, building those networking skills. This could be a very good way to, start to network with your fellow students and, to help with preparation and planning as well. Okay. And then please be sure to follow us on our social media as well. We'll be giving, all the most up-to-date information on there as well. Okay. So now we can take questions.